Right, Oculus Quest 2 headphones. Those of you that have watched my recent Oculus Quest 2 videos and various reviews know that I hate the sound of the Oculus Quest 2. I'm a big audio person and the Quest 2 comes with tiny audio. It's just not good. Now, what I've got in front of me here is a couple of different options for those of us wanting to, first of all, just use headphones, and second of all, potentially fit these headphones to an Elite strap for a more permanent and neater solution, less likely to fall off your head under frantic gameplay. So the two options I've got, there'll be links to both of these in the description. These I bought out of pure curiosity. I just couldn't help myself. I was looking around, so the criteria I had was they had to be white, and even though the Quest 2 is technically like a grey, white is as close as we can get when it comes to buying headphones. They had to be white. They had to have quite small ear cups, so they needed to be on ear, not over ear, because obviously that makes a difference to the size. And ideally relatively light, because the heavier things start to get, the more cumbersome it's all going to feel. By the time you've added an Elite battery strap and a hefty pair of headphones, it's going to be like wearing a fucking crash helmet and you're going to have a really heavy head. So anyway, small, white, relatively light. So what I've got here is two price options. These Sony ones, as I say, pure curiosity got the better of me here. These were £12 delivered. And even the full retail on the Sony website is only 20 quid. And I thought to myself, how bad or good can a £12 pair of headphones sound? Now I'm like, they are Sony. And whilst Sony for the most part make good high-end stuff, I have had the odd thing from Sony in the past that was cheap and it performed poorly. And I thought to myself, is this one of those scenarios? Is this going to be, they're cheap for a reason? I mean, they are cheap for a reason. So, you know, the headband is plasticky, there's no padding there. And they just feel a little bit flimsy. Now in reality, and a little bit sort of clicky and plasticky, but they're 12 quid. So you can't really grumble. The padding on the actual ear cups is pretty soft, and I'm going to say as comfortable as it needs to be when they're put on your head. In case you want to see what that looks like, that's what it looks like on my head, like that. Now, so yeah, they're relatively comfortable. They're dirt cheap. I don't notice the lack of padding on the top there, and the padding for the ear cups is actually quite pleasant. The cord itself, relatively soft and pliable. Yes, it is a cord out of each one rather than just one plug that goes around the top. So it will be a under the neck jobby if you want it to be, or perhaps put it around the back if you want it to. But again, they're 12 quid. We can't expect too much. They do articulate. Should you want to fold them away like this for any reason, no real need. And of course, they're a little bit of adjustment side to side. That's about it really. And of course, the usual, you know, in and out scenario. So sound-wise, compared to the Quest built-in speakers, these little £12 bad boys literally sound, I don't know, 10 times as good. I was actually blown away by how much better they sound than what comes out of the Quest as standard. I was truly blown away. I kept sitting there, switching between them, taking them off, unplug, Quest speakers, back on, and I couldn't believe it. I was watching some 3D trailers in big screen, and there was actually bass. Now also, I connected these up to my PC via an amplifier and used a tone generator and went and did a full sweep from 20 kilohertz down to 20 hertz. And the bass rolls off, surprisingly, at about 40 hertz, which is low. Definitely the punchier side of bass is way better than the low stuff, but the low stuff is actually audible, so I was shocked. The mid-range is articulate and clear, and the treble is also pretty clear with no real sibilance to speak of. Now, these are a £12 pair of headphones, so don't get your hopes up. If you've got a £150 set of gaming headphones, they will not sound anywhere near as good, obviously. This is simply for people who don't want to deal with the terrible speakers that are in the Quest. And I know some people in the comments are going to say, oh, the speakers aren't terrible in the Quest, Cole. If you're into your audio, I'm sorry, they're terrible, all right? If you're not into your audio, then of course you're not going to care. If you're the sort of person that watches a movie on your smartphone, you know, in bed or listens to music from your smartphone sat on the table beside you, you obviously don't care about sound quality, and that's fine, that's up to you, not everyone does. For those of us that do, that's probably why you're watching this video, aren't you? So yeah, they sound so much better than the Quest ones, and they are worth every penny of that £12 that I paid, and possibly even if you have to pay 20 quid, they're still worth that too, in my opinion. Maybe there's better for 20 quid. I haven't bought a whole load of headphones to compare. I just bought small white ones, so they look neat and tidy and relatively OEM. But these I can definitely recommend if that's your budget. They'll plug in just fine. You can, you know, keep the cable sort of rolled up and cable tied to one side. They work great for 12 quid. Now, the next ones, and I can't remember the model number of those, but they'll be in the links in the description anyway. The next ones are these Marshall Major 3s. So if you're familiar with the brand Marshall from the guitar world, you'll recognise that straight away. They've got a lovely little sort of fake leather texture on here. It is fake, it's not real. And the same on the headband, it's nicely padded. The ear cups are very soft and squishy compared to the £12 ones. The overall weight is only a little more, I might add, which is surprising considering these outperform the £12 ones probably tenfold again. These sound absolutely lovely. They're 50 quid. I got them in a sale. I think the full retail is about 75. Again, there'll be links below if you want some. But again, the reason I got these, small ear cups, relatively speaking, and relatively light. So let me just put these on so you can see what they look like on my head. They also do a much better job of noise isolation versus those little 12-pounders. So for the person like me who really does like their audio and feel it should be important, these are obviously the ones to go for out of the two. And they're not mega money. Again, you've got adjustability up and down here by pushing the metal up and down. They do fold away, again, on the inside for storage and what have you, should you want to do. Again, none of this is important to me because they're for my Quest. I ain't taking them anywhere. They have a removable 3.5mm jack that you can plug into either headphone. What's good about that is we can make sure we plug it in to they're all marked left and right. You can plug it into the left-hand one and then it can just go around into the front of your Quest. Now you can also use, what have I done with it? You can grab a little cable like this off of Amazon for about £2.50, which obviously makes it way shorter. Now this particular one I've bought, the round part of the plug here is actually too fat to clear the casing and doesn't plug into these. So I need to get a different one. So I can't link you to one of these because I'm yet to actually search one out and find one that I know will fit. But if you do buy these, just bear in mind if you want to then buy something like this, make sure the barrel part of this plug is more slimline. So yeah, you can quite clearly see the difference there. Make sure it's more slimline if you want to go with these ones. And I would definitely recommend going with these ones. These, for 50 quid, sound the tits. I'm super impressed. I love the way they look. I mean, this is just personal taste. I love the fake leather look. The Marshall logo, it's almost like a little mini Marshall amp sat on either side of your head, which I think is quite cool. But yeah, these are great. There's so much more bass than the little 12-pounders. I mean, it actually almost rumbles, you know. So for explosions in games, Beat Saber where you got, or a pistol whip where you got a really stomping track on, these are the nuts. They're really quite good. And these are what I'm going to be using all the time. Now, is there anything else I should say about them? Not really. I mean, the cable itself, it's a bungeed cable. Almost forgot what the word was there. And it's quite long. So again, if you can swap it out for a smaller one, that would be good. If you do want to use it with your mobile phone for music as well, it has got a little remote here and there's a microphone built in. Not functions I'll ever use, but perhaps some of you guys might use them for both purposes. Now, both of these in their standard forms like this will fit nicely over the standard Quest strap and they'll fit nicely over the Elite strap. But what I'm planning on doing, and hopefully I won't fuck it up, I'm going to fit these permanently to an Elite strap. This just happened to be on the floor, that wasn't actually prepared. I'm going to fit these to this Elite strap for a more permanent setup without the band on the top. So this band won't be here. What we hopefully will just see is this little hinge section here, which allows it to move in and out like that. And of course this metal sort of framey bit there. I'm hoping I've got a pretty good idea how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to route the wire, you know, around the back of the strap so it's out of the way, have a shorter lead to plug in, and that's going to be a really, I think, a really pucker audio setup for a Quest 2 that doesn't require you to put on a headset, get that just nice, then get a pair of headphones, then plug them in, and then should you need to just lift them off, everything's all in the way. I want them attached to this, just like a Valve Index or an original Rift or the HP Reverb G2, so that I can just put my headset on and I'm done. I don't have to then add additional things. So hopefully, in future video, you'll see me fitting these, and I may, if there's enough interest, dick about with fitting these in a similar fashion too, should your budget only be 12 quid. Because the plan I've got should only cost maybe less than a fiver to be able to make these fit onto an Elite strap. So we shall see how that goes. If I fuck it up, then no, I've written off an Elite strap, but these things happen. It's all for the good of YouTube, and I do like to experiment with these things. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you want cheapo headphones that are 10 times better than what's built into the Quest, get the Sonys. If you can splash out 50 to 70 notes, whatever we can get them for now, grab the Marshall Major 3s because they do sound really good. Anyway, as always, take it easy.